Okay, I've done a real video before, but we're gonna do another one. This one seems to be in not a maintainable shape. I'd say it's more of a maybe rebuild. I don't know. It does spin. It's a Bronson Fleetwing. I don't know. Looks old. It's my brother's reel. Got from my grandpa. There's a spring in there. So we're gonna basically just start by taking it apart, and everything is really freaking dry. So I'm thinking just by cleaning it up and lubing it up, we're gonna get somewhere. And I got blues playing in the background. If you guys don't like blues, then turn your audio down. Oh man, I don't know if this is gonna come apart. That one's loose. Let's try this other one. I don't know. That one there shouldn't have messed it up. Maybe my screwdriver ain't going in there very far. Last thing I want to do is strip one of these out. Clean it out. See if my big screwdriver will fit in there. No. Wow. Maybe try and give it a good go. Really don't want to strip that out though. Man, am I just not very strong or what's going on here? Oh my gosh. Well, I can see why here, I guess. I should try and clean that up and maybe soak that screw end right there. Start by scraping some of it off around it. Hey, I got a chunk off there. I don't know about this. This reel's in pretty bad shape. Kerosene. Toothbrush. Works pretty good for penetrating oil. Penetrate some stuff inside there. I wonder how bad it is. Hope it don't break or anything else. It'd be pretty bad. It turned. Just don't know if it's turning down there. It's gonna break. Oh boy. Be pretty hard pressed to find one of those screws. Let's try that. Try tapping it. I don't know if I got it or if it's gonna break off. I can't tell. Something's going on. I think I got it. Let's see if we could finish it off. Turn it back in. Add some more penetrating stuff to it. Just work it in and out. Last thing I want to do is break off a screw or a bolt. Barely got that out. Wow, what a fine little tiny screw. With a stupid flathead on it. Took its toll, but I think I can reuse it. Make sure that we service this regularly, and I think it'd be alright. This other one just came right out. It's in really good shape. Penetrating oil, well, kerosene made it all the way to the other side. That one's wet too. Really penetrates stuff. Now, I don't know how this thing works here. Is this just a locking deal, or what's going on? That's a weird looking cap. It's got a screw head. And, well, it's old. What do you expect? Try not to lose any parts, I suppose. Maybe put them all in this lid. There we go. That'll work. Oh boy. Really dry in here. Does this come off? Man, look at that. It's hard to turn. Come out. Sweet, it does. That's actually not too bad. It's pretty sticky grease stuff, but I think we got something to work with here so far. I'm glad it's really simple. Super simple. I think this is going to be an easy one. There's not much to this thing at all. I don't know what that is. Some type of spool tension. Oh. A clicker? That's a clicker. It's kind of a neat design. I don't see that failing. Alright, now how does this come out? Oh, that's so hard to turn. I don't see how that comes apart. I don't think it's made to come apart. Well, we'll work around it, I guess. Take the cat's paw out. Sweet, that come right off. Okay, that keeps that in. This should come right out. See if we can get the cat's paw out of there. Which we can. And it looks like it's in pretty good shape. Wow, for how old this thing is, that's insane. This should come out. Oh, it's not going to want to come out very easily, but I think it comes out. Yes. Got the whole thing apart. That is awesome. We can clean this up really, really good that way. What a simple reel. Man, we're going to make this thing freaking work good. I have a good feeling about that. Awesome. Disassembly complete. It's the easiest reel I've ever taken apart, down to the skeleton. Let's just get that sucker down in there. Make sure we don't have any loose parts. I'm going to lose. It's all riveted together. Don't come apart. Get that in there soaking. This piece is stamped in as well. I don't think that comes off either. This is pretty neat. Heavy. Let's get that one soaking too. Man, we're downhill already. That's crazy. Crazy good. Now if your string looks like something like this, when you're taking it off the spool, I'd say it's been on there a long time. How'd you like to go out and cast that sucker? You got like spring-loaded, I don't know, I should pat something like that. Spring-loaded line gives it a little bit more live action, I guess. I don't know. There's way more line on here than I thought. The spool is actually a lot smaller than I thought. I think is what I'll end up doing is wrapping it with tape, make up some of the space so we can get a bigger diameter of spool so the line doesn't look like this when we go out to try and use it for fishing. This is just, wow, crazy. There's the end of it. Oh, there's even a little cutout deal where you put your to put your line in. Never seen that before. Well, the spool's empty. That's small. We need to get that sucker fat like that before we even put line on it. In my opinion, let's get a glove on. Start washing parts, I think. I think we're gonna need something special today, like bring the life of this, bring some life back to something. Use something I've had for a long time since I was a kid. Some old Never Doll. Never gonna be dull with this. Oh, it always smells like a grandpa's garage. I think that what that stuff smells like. Whatever that smells like. A garage that's been sitting around for 60 years with a 57 Chevy in it. Kind of smells like that. Yep, a lot like that. Use the glove hand. See how much of this we can clean out. Trying to get that rust out of there. It seems to be coming off with just a toothbrush. I don't think we're gonna get this thing perfect, but boy, we're gonna try and make it look nice. Halfway nice again, but more importantly, I think we're gonna try and make this thing work nice. That's the whole goal. Well, as to be expected for an old reel, I think we're gonna try and get it to work the best we can. Gunk inside everywhere in this thing. Just take the little bristles and shove them down in the hole. Give her a good wallering with the nylon. Try and clean out anything we can out of there. Got most of the crap off of that. Let's put it back in there and soak it. Gotta get the air compressor out so I can get me a blowgun. Get these things as clean as possible. 2020. Day after a full moon, Halloween. I slept very scared last night. I thought for sure there was going to be a werewolf. There wasn't. But full moon and Halloween, and supposedly it was a blue moon. I don't know. I didn't really get to see the moon. Seen it a little bit last night on my way home from fishing, but thank God I didn't see a werewolf. Thank God I wasn't attacked by a werewolf. I think somebody's going to be pretty happy with this reel. And I think I'm going to turn this into an ice fishing rig. I'm going to build it for my brother. Came up from Tennessee after 10 years, and he doesn't do much ice fishing over there. He doesn't even have a pole yet, so let's make this his first pole. Well, his first reel. I got a bunch of poles. I'll have to pick out something decent for him and get him rigged up so he can come out ice fishing with me, so I'm not alone all the time. That'd be fantastic. Kerosene works to clean stuff up really good. No matter what it is. Car parts, all kinds of stuff. It's also flammable, and it's not drinkable, so I wouldn't drink it either. We've got our first part done. Go over to this station. Plug in my air gun that don't shut up. Part number 1, complete. Came out pretty clean for as to be expected, but I need to get me a decent rag. Kerosene doesn't like to just disappear. And wipe it out, wipe it off too. It's always the most grueling part, is cleaning up the parts. I like the building part. The building part's my funnest part. You get to put the stuff together and lube it up and test it, and it's where I get my most of my sense of pride, I would say. That's part number 1. Put it over there in the done pile. Alright, well, we got to do that to every single piece. I don't think I'm going to get that completely clean. It's pretty darn rusty. We'll try our best. Scrub it down and intricately and go from there. I should do this one since it's the biggest one and get it out of the way. But I'll see when I get all this stuff cleaned up. Well, I got everything cleaned up, dried off. Looks like I got to fix this little dent here. I don't know if I should just leave that or not. It worked without that, but I think it'd look better if I fixed that. Bend that back and start putting stuff together. I use this for the gears and stuff, and then I use this for any shaft or bearing or basically non-loading area. You can use regular petroleum jelly, whatever. Vaseline's just a brand. It's just what I had in the house. I should keep one out here too, because I use it for my reels very often. But you can do it however you want. You want to put water in there, put water in there. You want to put some sand in there, put some sand in there. But I would not recommend it. I think this thing's going to turn out pretty good. This thing goes this way. Fits back down in there like so. So I'd say we put oil on that one. That should work. Got oil in there. I'm actually going to put some Vaseline on this clicker. Wipe off any excess. One part done. Move on to the next, huh? This little gear guy, I didn't know came off. That's why I don't like using the air a whole lot. I mean, I do on bigger pieces, but you use them on little pieces, you just end up missing it. It just flies away. Don't know where it went. Don't know anything about it. It's just gone. I'm not real familiar which way this thing went. I think it went this way. Go ahead and put some grease on that. Some Vaseline, I should say. This is the handle for the reel, or the shaft for the handle. Comes inside here. Go ahead and put some grease on that. Or some oil, I meant. Well, that feels really nice. Came all the way out the end. I'll put some grease, or oil, sorry, in between the two gears. And then put grease on these gears. Petroleum jelly. My bad. It's kind of greasy. It's for humans. Well, it's for reals today. Let's grease it all. And that little hole there is where the shaft goes in. This shaft. So I'll put oil on that. And it looks like that's almost ready to put back together. Gotta get the worm gear put in there. I think I'll use a little bit of grease on the back of it where it rests up against the case. And it looked like what was holding it in was the contact of the other gear, so I'll grease the back of it so when it pushes up against that, it'll go nowhere and not wear nothing. So we'll do that. And this actually gets oil, kind of like the Abus. Put oil in there. Put the sucker back in there to a certain point, like so. Get our line feed on there. It's oil. It's in. I don't know how it's working without a cat's paw, but it's okay. Feels really nice. So we'll go ahead and oil that worm gear up real good, and down the hole for the cat's paw. Looks like it's going to work. I'm going to use the other side of the cat's paw, the side that was not used. In hopes of it working better, but I don't know if it's really going to make any difference. I guess first thing is I got to get the cat's paw in there. I got it in there. Put a little bit of oil in that. Little hole there. Try and put this piece back on. Goes like so. And then it's got a little tiny screw. Miniature screws. Big old fat fingers just don't work like they used to. Screw that sucker down. And we don't want it too tight. when you go to take it apart again, it feels really good. Works good too. Alright, I think we're on to something. Okay. This thing needs greased again. I touched it too many times. I'm going to hurt put a little bit more on there than what you think you need. Never hurts. Alright, we only got a couple pieces left. I think it goes like that. Try to put the screws back where I found them so I don't end up with two bad holes next time I go to take it apart. Makes sense to me. It's going in a lot better than it did come out, I'll tell you that. Never did bend that back. I think I'm going to leave it. I had second thoughts on the... Oh, clicker's on. Oh man, what a difference. Alright, let's oil up our drag. Put that back together. I don't know, I don't seem to like it. The drag works very well. I don't know how it really works. It's just kind of weird, man. And the handle. Really simple reel. I'm glad it was simple too. Made it an easy rebuild. Looks nice. It's done. Looks a lot better. A lot of rust pitting in some areas, but if this is anything like an Abu, there should be play side to side. Spring loaded though, I like that. Man, that sucker really works nice. Holy smokes. So I'm assuming there's no open bail, so you cast it and let this thing spin out. Just looking for a backlash waiting to happen to try and stop that like that. Well, we got different plans for this thing, so